Okay, I think that'll be fine. Howdy, whoa, howdy, y'all. Welcome back to another stream. Yeah, we're gonna do some Elite today. I am like out there, like way out there. So yeah, you know, I was torn between this and a little bit more FF9, but I decided, you know what, I don't really know if I can handle a whole lot of like reading and voices today. So yeah, we're gonna do something kind of lazy and chill. Jump times right now are like an hour and a half, an hour and 15 minutes. So we're basically going to be setting the fleet carrier jump and then chasing it down. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to enjoy a little bit of the Mandalay, have some fun. But yeah, it's a day. That's about all I can say. Yeah, you know, it's been a week. I think it's just been rough out there. So yeah, I think it's time to just yeet myself into the black and just you know, just be away from people for a while. You know, the first round of power play came and went. Unfortunately, I did not make the top 10%. I missed the cutoff by like or the top 10. I missed the cutoff by like 100,000 merits or something like that. Yeah, there's no way I was gonna catch up with that. Like, that is like playing in shifts. That reminds me of like the old Grand Marshal grind in WoW. But I think everything went pretty well. After seeing that, I was like, you know what? I think it's time to just go ahead, get out here and enjoy. So yeah, we're gonna be exploring some systems. We're gonna be maybe seeing if we can't find some plants to scan and just kind of enjoy our time together. It's been a week. It's been rough to say the least. Yeah, you know, it's been busy. You know, some things with the channel. I don't think there's really going to be anything that's going to affect the channel all that much. We'll be doing our own thing and having fun and kind of doing the same thing that we've always done. But I have started looking, you know, looking elsewhere, looking at jobs, that kind of thing. I think it's time to try and escape the shackles of retail, as it were. And yeah, so it's been looking at some apartments and seeing if there's a way that I can relocate. And it's, you know, it's only like initial steps, first couple of days of just really looking. But yeah, it's time. It's time. You know, hopefully, you know, there's some stuff with the channel that we've got going on that I will continue pushing. We are close to 1,500 subs. So yeah, I think we are going to be pretty close to getting that year-end goal. And if you want to support the channel, you know, if you want this to be the full-time job for me, then yeah, like and subscribe and help me get to that 1,500. Every little bit counts, and we'll kind of go from there. You know, that is the ultimate goal, is to be able to do this full-time, or at the very least. My bar is very low, so yeah, at the very least match what I'm making in retail doing this. But yeah, you know, it's the same as any other media and entertainment industry, right? It's kind of slow going. So yeah, and until that happens, it's time to kind of look around. So It's, it is what it is. It's real life stuff, that's got to come first in living situations and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's just been a busy couple of days, so that's why there was no stream yesterday. I do apologize if you were really looking forward to some more like FF9 or something. But like I said, nothing that I'm doing should really affect the streams all that much. In terms of the retail job, I'm still only working 1 day a week, so it's like barely even worth it for me to even go. But I'll keep plucking away at it as best I can. If nothing else, most of my life is built on surviving out of spite. So that hasn't changed, I guess. And yeah, we've got stuff like this to just kind of relax and unwind and kind of forget about things for a little bit, which is kind of nice. Where? How far away is that star? I didn't see it when I was launching. 23 light seconds. So it's got to be somewhere, right? Where are you? Where you at, buddy? Hey, there you are. Yeah, my fleet carrier has been trying to kill me through various means. It's been a lot of putting me right at the edge of the exclusion zone of like white dwarves and stuff. So, that's been fun. I don't mind. It's just, you gotta clench the cheeks a little bit as you get hit and hope it doesn't pop up saying it's, out of line of sight or something like that. And then it gets kind of scary. Then it gets kind of wicked. I'm still here. I'll show you kind of where we're at right now. Like I said, we're out there. We're like a ways away, right? And so, yeah, I'm just kind of vaguely going to the other side of Sag and seeing what we can get over in that general direction. I've done quite a bit like up in this area before I realized the suppression band for like the really rare systems. So yeah, there's a few things to kind of keep in mind when you're trying to explore this close to the center. But I'm going to be going off of the center course a little bit more towards like the Arcadian Stream and Elysian Shore. So I think that's where I'm headed. Yeah. And we'll just kind of go from there. But yeah, the last couple of times that I went out this far out, I couldn't really find a whole lot. I'm the kind of guy that likes to explore and try and find my own collection of wonders, right? Like I've said that multiple times here on the stream. I want the really cool systems, the systems people want to go out of their way to enjoy. And yeah, it's been a little rough. This close to the center, a lot of the really heavy systems have already been found. So it's been rough. So I'm hoping over here there's been a little less activity where I'm going, and maybe some of those AAA systems have not been as picked over as some of the others. If not, then I'll just keep going, I guess. I don't know. I took off the shipyard and outfitting. Everything else is here, so if you happen to run across me out here, I'm moving around quite a bit, but if you do need to get topped up or something and you find me, yeah, just look for the Yosemite. And yeah, it doesn't have shipyard and outfitting, but everything else is still active. So yeah, you can turn in your data or really anything you need. It does have Vista on it if you need to turn in ExoBio. That's the other thing is I'm kind of curious. I'm not actually selling on my carrier as much this time. So I'm going to hopefully see what the changes to the exploration merits are going to look like. Because they have officially updated that. It didn't seem like they were actually changing all that much from what it was like beforehand. It's mostly going to be, it has to be exploration data that was after a certain date, after November 7th. So if you had stocked up for several years and decided to finally cash in, not going to work this time. But if you just have some general exploration data after that point, yeah, turn it in and see what kind of merits you get. So yeah, we'll just kind of keep an eye out and hopefully have a decent amount ready to go. Here we go. And yeah, aside from that, I mean, it's same as usual. It's not necessarily about the merits or the money or anything like that for me. It's more the ooh, hello. I do like black holes. Let's go. So yeah, it's not really about the merits or the money for me, but that kind of stuff is nice. It's a nice little extra. So yeah, we'll just have to see. I don't know how long I'm gonna be out here. I'm not doing fiery toads 2.5 years. It might be a month or so. Yeah. So we'll just kind of play that by ear. Um, Oh yeah, the other thing is that I completely forgot about. I thought patch 7.1 was later in the month than it actually is. So next week we will be doing Final Fantasy 14 patch 7.1. So yeah, I had completely forgotten that it was actually the 11th and not like the 22nd or 23rd like I thought. So yeah, that's going to be coming up. So that's going to delay a little bit of the exploration. I don't mind as much. I mean, this kind of stuff, these long-term journeys, I'm really in no rush. It's really going to depend on what happens over the next couple of days, and once I actually get to the area that I want to be in, to see, if there's anything worth actually finding out there, right? I really want a ringed pulsar with my name on it. Like, that's really what I'm after more than anything else. And yeah, like I said, almost all of the really good systems that have that kind of thing are the really heavy systems, the AAA systems, and most of those have been kind of picked over. So all I can really do is get out there, take a look, and see, start scanning, go from there. Aside from that, I am really enjoying the Mandalay. If I end up deciding to go to like Beagle Point or anything like that, I might end up taking the Cloud Kicker, my Anaconda, just because I think that's what most people are kind of used to seeing me in, and honestly, it is still my favorite looking ship. It's only 10 light year jump range less, so I could definitely do the Beagle Point run from where I'm going in probably about 150 jumps, I think. But yeah, I won't know until I actually get up there, see what my fuel is like. Now that I've actually got a little bit of extra fuel compared to the last couple of times, now that I got rid of some of those services, right? But yeah, I like that they've adjusted the bloom effects and stuff, but I'm still waiting to see if there's something else that we can get out here. Something a little bit new. Ring systems that aren't necessarily tied to being AAA systems, that kind of thing. I'd really like to find stuff like that. But yeah, now that's all kind of like a thing, and most explorers know how to do it. It can get a little tricky, right? All right, what do we got? I did find my first system with the Electray or whatever it's called, right? And the biological signals that can only be found in like pulsar systems, right? And those are really cool. Like, they're very big, very large, much larger than I thought. So I had some fun with that and trying to get those scanned in, and yeah, they were really cool. It's kind of wild because the pulsars don't give off light, really. I mean, they give off like a faint light, maybe a little bit more than black holes do. But for the most part, they do not have like a light effect like normal stars do. So yeah, you get down to the planet and it's just like, it's all dark, even though you're right next to these bright wingtips that are, pulsing around out in the sky. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of different from any of the other exobio that I've ever done. It's kind of wild. I hope I can find some more out there. The ones that I found were red, but I'm not opposed to trying to look for some others. I don't know what else is out there in terms of biological signals that are kind of unique to specific states, right? I don't know if black holes have their own. I don't even know if you can have biological signals in a black hole system, but yeah, well, all we can do is really just kind of take a look and see, right? That's what the exploration is for. Oh man, this thing is so good. I love this ship so much. Yeah, just the fact that I can jump while scooping has made such a huge difference into how fast I'm really able to breeze through these. Like, a lot of times I'm trying to catch up to my jump carrier, right? To my fleet carrier. But with the jump times as they are right now, like, I'm clearing 20-something systems sometimes before the jump is even through. I'm like, how in the world is this happening? Like, I keep waiting for that carrier jump successful message. And it's like, man, I've been down to some planets. I've already scanned some stuff, and it's still not done. And I mean, part of that is the jump times right now. They're still pretty bad. They're still pretty rough. I don't know if they're planning on doing anything on the back end to ease it up a little bit. Probably not. I think they still use Amazon Web Services, right? But it's more just like an appreciation of the Mandalay and how fast it just really, really gets through and honks some stuff. Like if I get out here and the system's already been scanned, it's like maybe 30 seconds top that I'm even like really hanging around out there, right? It's so fast. Okay, there we go. So you gotta be around here somewhere. Alright. Like normally, I would just kind of skip most of these normal stars, but now that I'm doing ExoBio, I'm trying to make a better habit of like not ignoring the F and A class stars and that kind of thing. Like for me, I'm basically like a pulsar hunter, right? Like I have no fear about jumping into black holes and white dwarfs and that kind of thing. Those are the systems that I like trying to find. But obviously I'm not going to be doing nearly as much with ExoBio that way. And I would like to get up there to Elite. I've only got one more rank to go. I gotta get through Geneticist, and then I should be up there. That's like another, what, like 5 billion or something like that I gotta make. It sounds like a lot, but with ExoBio, it should go pretty fast if I can actually pay attention and find some systems right. Well, this isn't gonna be one. Okay. Well, you know, we tried. Some good landables, but none of them have, Okay, so there's like one. There's no atmosphere, but it does have a biological signal. It's probably just bacterium, I'm guessing. We'll go take a look. I've got nothing else going on. This carrier is going to take another, like, 50 minutes to jump, so why not, right? Very odd that it's got one, though, with no... Oh, you know what it might be? It might be Fumarola. I do like trying to find Fumarolas. I don't see them all that often, because they're tied to the geological stuff, right? Yeah, let's go take a look. Let's go see if we can find anything down there. Just pop this on real quick. The thing stops on a dime, so it's really not too much of an issue. What the? There we go. That was weird. I've never seen that happen before. All right. So this one's a ring planet too, so this might be a little tricky. Thankfully, I've got like the full engineered detailed surface scanner, so it would have to be kind of a funky planet for me to not get the bonus from it. And that's a big ring for such a small planet. All right, let me turn on Elite Observatory here. There we go. Hopefully, you know, I have switched over, right, to straight up OBS, and it seems like it's running a little bit better. But the big thing is, I think the fact that I'm not near any stations has been a really, really big part of it too. It's just something with the stations, and I noticed someone on Reddit yesterday was posting kind of the same issues with the frame rate drops and everything. And naturally, you know, you get a lot of people like, have you checked your settings? And all of this is like, you know, I've done this many, many times streaming it. There's definitely something up with the stations, and particularly when another ship starts coming in. I mean, we've seen it here on the stream before. So, yeah, hopefully the frame rate shouldn't be too much. Rosium sinuous tubers. Vents, fumaroles. Interesting. I don't know what that is. I have never seen that before. So let's go down and check it out. And this thing lands so easily. Maybe not that fast. maybe not fast enough to crash into the surface. There we go. So I wonder if this is another one that's like tied to geological stuff. Huh. Interesting. All right, give me just a moment here. Changing up my observatory. There we go. There we go. All right. Good. All right, yeah, this will be something brand new for me. I'm kind of excited. I might turn this in a little bit early just to put it in the old codex. Keep the other... Well, I haven't really done too much bio. I'm not as opposed to turning in bio as I am exploration data. Apparently, unless you are pledged to... Who is it? Paravantal? I think he's the one that does exobio. Like, unless you are pledged to him, apparently exobio is just... It's really, really rough compared to just normal discovery. Now, obviously, you get a lot more when you're doing exobio. But yeah. What's the jump range on that thing? Yeah, it's already engineered. So this is a basic... This is like the template one that I use. It's got 8188 with SRV, mostly, yeah, fully engineered. You can check out my last stream. I kind of went through all the specs on it. But yeah, it's a nice template. It's a really, really good one. This is basically suited for my exploration, and then you can kind of adjust the taste for whatever you personally want to do. Like, I've got a 3A power plant that's overcharged. I've seen quite a few people that are undersizing that even a little bit more, going with the 2A. So yeah, you've got some options in terms of what you do, but this one does a little bit of everything. Now, I don't have repair limpets or anything like that. I've got a fleet carrier out here, so it's really not too much of an issue for me to repair if I need to. No heat sinks or anything like that. This one, the way that I've got it set up, it runs really cool. I can jump while scooping, so it's, you know, heat sinks have not really been a problem. The same with the damage, that kind of thing. But, you know, obviously adjust the taste if you don't have a fleet carrier. You're getting kind of wacky with some of your landings or whatever. You know, you might want to put on the repair limpet controller. But yeah, I love it. I love this ship. You know, there will always be a special place in my heart for the Anaconda, and like I said, I might still do that if I decide to go up to Beagle, just because it is my screenshot ship. But yeah, in terms of flying, yeah, this thing is just, it's a beast. I love it. Alright, so since I've never seen these before, let's see if I can track them down and find out what they look like. Alright, let's slow it down a bit here. Maybe pull up just a bit. Just a bit, there we go. Frame rate, there we go. There we go. There we go. All right, now the frame rate's kind of clipping a little bit. Sorry, while it tries to adjust. All right, what are these tubers that I'm looking for? I'm guessing it's those. It's the only plant-looking thing that I see down here. So, sure, we'll head in that direction. I do love the feet window too. I haven't used it all that much. Like, I know a lot of people, when they're searching for like bacterium and stuff, will just get in their ship and try and find the next batch. I have not done as much of that, but it has been really helpful in a couple of other cases too. So, you know, scooping, seeing where the star is, that kind of thing. I really love it. You can turn off, by the way, the what is it doing? You gonna land there, buddy? I mean, I can do it manually if I have to, but it's a little more annoying. Yeah, so you can turn off the roll window so it doesn't pop up all the time. I thought it was really odd that was on by default in this thing, because like that was like a big selling point, was the window here, right? But yeah, you just go into ship controls, mode switches, and then you can turn off the roll window there, this thing, and just do it manually. Yeah, when I finally catch up to the fleet carrier, if you're wondering like about the full engineering and the full specs of this thing, I'll show you once we get back to the fleet carrier. It'll take me a bit of time. We'll get there. All right, so these things, I'm guessing this is the plant, right? Scoop up a little iron or something while I'm at it, I guess. Yeah, I've never seen these before. That's kind of cool. I mean, they look just like the normal tubuses, but they got a funny name, so hopefully that means different money. Look at that. Proscenium sinuous tubers. Okay. Cool. Whatever those are. So let's take a look. I'm guessing it's just going to be like iron or sulfur or something. That's what most of them are. But we'll try it anyways. Ooh, it's a cordyceps growth. Okay. So it's like... yeah, nothing big. But I will never say no to some free mats. Or with Kara getting damage is an issue. Yeah, I have bounced once. I really misjudged how fast I was going down. I just wasn't paying attention. And yeah, it took out the shields, bounced around a little bit. But yeah, this thing can take it. It's fine. I'm honestly more worried about the Scarab than I am the main ship. This thing just takes so much damage on some of these planets, and I don't know why. Like, it's got a shield. I don't know why they've never adjusted it, but yeah, the Scarab does not like rocks. So it is nice that I can get some materials from these. I thought it was like just brain trees, but I guess not. Yeah, help get a little bit done out here. If for whatever reason I end up needing to, like, I don't know, make fuel or something like that. Not that I could ever really imagine myself doing it. I hate synthesizing things if I don't have to. I am definitely for someone that will come out here and just do like the wildest, longest expeditions. I'm like the laziest explorer out there. Like, if there's anything I can do to just cut the corners and do everything in auto, I will definitely do it. All right. Yeah, the fleet carrier has been the biggest boon to that. Okay. Man, these things really, they don't need much of a range. It's only 100 meters. It's kind of surprising. Which, yeah, it doesn't pop up on the stream, but I am using Elite Observatory. Highly recommended. I really like it. All right. I got one over there. Any closer? Any closer here? Probably not. Come on. Come on. Okay. So yeah, planet frame rate's definitely a thing. If I freeze up for a little bit, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We will, see, look at that. Running into that one rock took it down to 96. That's cool. That's fine. But yeah, if I freeze up a little bit, don't worry. It'll fix itself once we get back out into space. Like, 90% of what we'll probably be doing is just scanning planets out there. I don't know how much we'll actually do down here on the surface. Normally, I probably would have just skipped this with it just being a single bio, but yeah, something a little different. Like, I had never seen a planet with no atmosphere have plant life. That's kind of wild. I haven't looked at the whole list though. There were a couple on there that I had not seen a whole lot of, so I guess it shouldn't be too surprising. Boom. Got some fumaroles down there if I need anything else. All right, let's get off this planet. Let's get me moving again. All right. But yeah, I hope everyone's, having fun being back in the game though. It seems like I have noticed a lot more people coming back for Power Play 2.0. There's been it's still pretty rough. It's still, it's still kind of fragile depending on how you drive. But yeah, it seems like a lot of people have come back for it. I know, now that the first week has gone through, and people kind of have a lay on the land, I think they will probably need to do some adjustments. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, getting a lot of merits, I'll be honest. Like, yeah, the rare goods hauling, I made a lot of merits doing that. But it's not something that I'm particularly, like, excited to go out and do again. Once I get back into the bubble, however many months from now it'll be, yeah, I'll probably just take it easy. I'll see a lot of it as just kind of like a dailies thing, right? We don't really have dailies quests in this game, but it's kind of the same principle. You know, you do 1 or 2 big hauls of rare goods every day, and you know, you get a module after a month or whatever. And that's probably the best approach to it for casual players, right? There we go. But yeah, you know, it's okay. It's fine. I think the big thing for me is like, I would like to try the Concord cannons, and I definitely need pacifiers, but outside of that, I have not really had much of a need for most of the modules. You know, I ended up getting the Imperial Hammer just to try it out, and it was okay. It's not something that I really see myself replacing any of my current gear for. Maybe I'm just like not using it right or something, or you need more than 2 of them. But like it was a little underwhelming for trying to do all of the leveling up that I tried to do, right? So yeah, we'll see. I still think they need to do something for just power play in general that encourages people to even expand their power. Because, like I said, like there's really not much of a point to expanding the power other than number go up, right? You don't really get anything from it. You get your personal merits, but like there's really nothing that the power as a whole gets as a bonus for having more space. Like they don't get taxes, they don't get anything like that. So it's kind of a weird system. I don't know where they're planning on going with a lot of it, but yeah, I would like to see a little bit more like incentive to try and keep up at it. Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start. Yeah. General, I never really explored. Maybe thrice, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I will say being part of a pretty large squadron, or at least a very active squadron, does change up a lot of it. It does make things quite a bit easier. And just in terms of, like, things to do. So they could go full X-Style Sector Wars. And, I mean, they kind of have something like that with the power play conflicts. But, yeah, it's not like a true player economy. Like, our squad owns quite a few. They own quite a few areas out in the bubble. I'm gonna move you guys over here. We have quite a few areas out in the bubble. We're one of the larger squadrons in the game. But because squadrons and player-made factions aren't technically tied to each other, like we don't get anything if our player-made faction has a lot of stuff, right? So yeah, we'll see. And maybe some of that'll happen with like the colonization coming. Who really knows? I don't. That's still probably a ways off. So we'll just have to, you know, play it by ear until then. But let alone that. Yeah, so like we've always got stuff to do in our faction, but yeah, you know, for just power play stuff is like, you know, I'm pledged into Ashling, but it's not like if her bubble grows, like I really get anything from it. And you know, the top 10 or whatever, you know, the CGS goals that you get, they're okay, but like the top 10%, I mean, I worked my butt off for most of the week to get in the top 10%, and it's just really not worth it. Just really not even worth it. Even the top 10, if I really wanted to push for the top 10, like 100 million credits, like I'm gonna get that. If I wanted 100 million credits, I could literally go turn in my exploration data right now and get that without even really trying, because I'm not even at my final destination yet. Like that's just along the way and trying to catch up with my fleet carrier, right? So so yeah, they could probably stand to adjust the rewards a little bit. But I will say, like, if you're willing to do the power play stuff, combat objectives. I tried power play and it was not fun at all back then. Yeah, they've completely changed power play. That was last week. Yeah, it's a completely new system. There's power play conflict zones. You can fight around the stronghold carriers and stuff. Yeah, so this is the new power play. And yeah, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. There's a lot of stuff you can do. And some of it is combat related. So like, you know, I guess power play, conflict zones, and just bounty hunting is actually a really, really good way to get merits nowadays. I haven't even really looked to see, this hadn't populated yet. Whenever I logged in yesterday. So yeah, we've got a few options here, but yeah, rescue escape pods, scan ships, that kind of thing. Yeah, the power play conflict zones are kind of cool. They're just like regular power conflict zones, like when systems go into war and stuff. But they are a lot harder. I will say, I tried doing a power play conflict zone, and honestly, I think they might be a little overtuned. Like even the Ozark, my big lazy old Corvette, like it was struggling. There's really no way to complete a power play conflict zone without doing a ton of synthesizing new ammo. Like it was definitely gonna have issues with ammo over the course of the entire thing. Like it takes even longer, I think, than probably a high CZ does. It's kind of ridiculous, to be honest. And you know, unfortunately, I was still getting the bug where the spec ops would spawn in and then all of them would attack me. And you know, I couldn't peel them like at all. And I don't know what the deal was with that. You know, it's happened occasionally in regular conflict zones, but it was happening every single power play zone. And with them being tuned the way that they are, like there was just no way I was able to stay there. But in terms of merits, I mean, you can hop in and out. You know, just pop in there real quick and go from there. Nothing really here. How far away are you? No binaries. That's fine. But yeah, they were good merits. So yeah, you can just, like, I guess pop in and out of one. The hardest part for me was just finding one. Ashling didn't really have a whole lot of like conflict territories yet. That's probably changed since then, now that the lay of the land is kind of settled a little bit. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was difficult. It was a little overtuned, but it's nice new content. I have not done the thing around the stronghold carriers. The stronghold carriers, you know, you can fight like little mobs around them, and apparently they just like constantly spawn. So they give some really good credits if you can fight like the little fighters that come out. Yeah. Yeah, so like the power play conflict zones work exactly the same way as a normal conflict zone. So you'll probably get spec ops spawn in, and sometimes war correspondents or something like that. It's just power play conflict zones. There's only one difficulty. They're all medium, and they're all way overtuned. But you do see some different ships in there. Like I saw some FDLs and some stuff that I don't normally see in just like regular war conflict zones. Because that's what our squadron does. We do a lot of war conflict zone for BGS stuff. And yeah, it was kind of nice getting a little change of pace in there. But they were definitely harder. But yeah, it's just it's a new way to kind of figure out and settle conflicted systems for your power. There we go. You know, for right now, I think they'll be pretty active. I'm curious what it's going to look like, you know, a year from now once everyone's got the modules that they want or whatever. I really only see some of the stuff with the new power play really only kind of appealing to the big power play like role players, right? Like I was saying, there's just really, once you have your modules, there's not much of an incentive to do a whole lot of stuff. Like I said, you don't really get anything for your power being bigger than the others. But I do think overall it's still a really good roadmap of content for more casual players. Because I was definitely, even being in a big squadron, I was having trouble trying to find, you know, stuff to do every now and then. I get bored, play another game or something like that. Now, no matter what, if I don't know what I'm feeling, I can look at the codex, see what my options are in terms of different types of things to do, and it will get me merits, right? It gives me a purpose. So, you know, if you are a more casual player, don't have a whole lot of time, you can hop in and you immediately have an idea of things you can do that will give you something, right? You're not just kind of wandering around aimlessly in space anymore. And that's nice. I think that's something the game really, really needed. Sorely missed. Okay, so we got I got some asteroid belts in here. I don't need to scan them, but it really annoys me when I've got little clicks popping up that I can't do anything with. There we go. All right. Let's see. Are these gonna give me anything? The Thargoid stuff, I'm not like a big Thargoid person, but I had fun. Most of the Thargoid stuff that I have done has been attack runs on the Titans. I haven't done a whole lot of like actual flower hunting. A couple of weeks ago, the Thargoids did attack Shinrarta, which that was a lot of fun. That was really the first time I've done actual like Thargoid fighting. And yeah, it was very enjoyable. I liked it. It's not necessarily something I think the game could like base around. I think it's probably a good thing they're moving away from it. But overall, I did really, really enjoy it. Most of what I've done, like I said, Titan runs, I have a lot of fun with those. They're pretty easy once you know the mechanics to it. Like, we're not talking like savage rates or anything like that in FF9 or FF14. But it is fun. It's definitely a spectacle. I think one of the big things with FDev is they are really, really good about making set pieces. And yeah, the Titans definitely feel like big set pieces, and it's pretty cool. There is still one left. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. They've been hinting that the Casijo, the last one, might move, or it might have some different stuff going on with it. But yeah, there is still one more. Yeah, the other big thing that I've been doing with the Thargoids has been evacuation runs. So I've got a beluga that I've got, you know, set up with a bunch of passenger cabins and stuff. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with those. Those are another thing that's like a really big spectacle. You know, flying into a burning station and trying to evacuate and, you know, escape the flowers and all of that. They're not super hard once you know what to do with them. But once you get in there, and especially when you can find a burning station, you know, in an alert system or a control system or whatever, like, you could make some mad money doing that. Like, everyone's paying really good money to try and get out of there. So like, if you really want to stock up a little bit, like, you can make 40-50 million per customer with some of that stuff. Ooh, we got some wide rings here, anti-Thargoid modules. So a lot of that you can just straight up buy now. So there's rescue ships around the bubble that sell a lot of the stuff that you need. So if you wanted to do straight up just like Titan runs, you can just go to a rescue megaship, purchase everything you need, the pulse neutralizers, some weapons, all of that, and no need to worry about it. If you're doing like actual flower hunting, you know, you want to kill cyclopses or something like that, a lot of the best weapons still require a bit of that engineering and blueprint hunting. Like, I know, you know, one of the more powerful ones for Cyclops is the Shard Conda, just an anaconda loaded with Guardian Shard cannons. And yeah, it just basically one-shots all of the Cyclopses. But you do have to go out to the Guardian sites and find the blueprints and all of that. But like my Titan bomber, my Python Mark II, like, it doesn't have anything engineered on it. Like, I did not do any blueprint hunting or anything like that. It's just straight up stock stuff that you can buy from a megaship now. So yeah, it's really nice. You can really just buy your ship and then go to a megaship and buy everything that you need to get started with it. And yeah, that was a really good change. It seemed like they really wanted to get people into it. The CG a couple weeks ago gave some pre-engineered Thargoid stuff, and all of those are really fun. I had a lot of fun with those during Titan Rising. Okay, so we do have a few things out here. Not quite a binary, but it's out there. What do you got? Anything? Wow. Only got one thing. All right, here's where the Mandalaya really comes in. Let's do this. This thing's gonna clear this in like 20 seconds. It's great. This thing can sit in SCO drive all day. It barely sips fuel. It's super smooth. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. But I'm not going to complain. Now, the top speed of it, I guess, is a little bit, just a tiny bit slower than some of the others. But, like, if I'm going 4,200 Cs an hour, like, I'm not super worried about it. Like, that's still really fast. And look at how fast that thing stops. Like, you don't have to worry as much about overshooting or anything like that. Yeah, this thing is, I love this ship. I love this ship so much. So good. The old Jane Goodall. Yeah, here she is, the beauty. Love it. Love it. Yeah, the SEO has been completely game-changing, to the point, like, a lot of older ships are not even worth it now. The poor Python. The poor regular old Python. Now that the Cobra Mark V is coming out, like, everyone's wondering what purpose does the normal Python even serve anymore? Like, there's really nothing it can do that's not already completely outclassed by one of these other new ships. Which, I mean, to be fair, balance is hard in just about any MMO. But I'd rather have new updates and new content and, growing the game than necessarily sticking with the old stuff the entire time. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, once they get these 4 out, yeah, I could see them going through and doing a little bit of updates to the old ones, and maybe making some adjustments with the SEO and stuff. But yeah, it's they're pretty strong. They're really strong. Sorry, I'm trying to find my light cable. There we go. I can actually see my floor lamp has gone out, so there's another problem. There's just another in a long string of things with my life that I've got to worry about right now. That's all right. I'll make do. Yeah, we'll have to see though. I'm curious what all is going to be involved with colonization and stuff. I mean, I am super excited as an explorer. Like, that gives me a reason to go out here and explore. So yeah, we'll have to see how that all goes. Yeah, I do love the Mandalay. I didn't think anything would override the Anaconda for me, because I like the big slow Anaconda. I like feeling like I'm in an old British icebreaker, but this is just too good. It's just too good. It's just, I can't deny it. All right. All right, come on. There we go. All right. Oh, only 4. All right, you're a little guy. Now, I haven't found too many like stratums since I've come out here last time. I could really use a nice Tectonica. All right, I might have to lower the settings a little bit before I try landing this time. Protects there's not really a ton that I need, but I guess it's all for the glory of the of getting to elite. Yeah, let me turn this down a little bit. I'll turn it down to high. Yes. We'll see if that helps out a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. It's been running fine pretty much every stream we've done of this, but whatever they did with Power Play 2.0 is really just really wrecked the frame rate whenever I'm trying to stream with this thing. Oh, there I go. There I go again. Ah. That's okay. You're here for the soothing ASMR of my voice, right? That's Come on. You can do this, buddy. You got this. Yeah, I don't know. It could be an update to VTube Studio too. Who knows? Able to release. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't really know how it's all gonna go. We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, well, thanks for stopping by, Ice. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you do decide to hop back in, it's you know, there's a lot of changes, there's a lot to catch up on. But ultimately, you know, it's still Elite. It's still the space sim we all know. A few changes you can kind of do or ignore as you please, but the basics of the game are still around. They're not going anywhere. All right, let's find a nice little patch here. Maybe over here next to this little crater. I'm still not doing bacterium. Like that's still a no-go. It's not even that it's hard for me to find. I haven't really had too many issues just like seeing it out and about. My problem is just that it's so spread out. Like a lot of the bacterium needs what, 500 to 800? And it's like if you're not near a crater where the crater's really small, like sometimes there's just issues trying to find it. I can see it just fine. This is a big red planet. It shouldn't be that hard. The new bloom effects have made it a little bit easier too. But yeah, it's still not worth it. Come on. Come on, buddy. You got this. I believe in you, Autodoc. There you go. Little slope's not going to kill you. Anything underneath me? No. Not really. Alright, well, it looks like I've got some Fungoidia out and about over there. It's probably not worth a whole lot. That's fine. I know, you know, a lot of explorers just ignore anything that's not stratum. I don't know. I've found a few things now and then that are worth a fair amount. It seems like every biological type has at least one species that's worth a pretty good amount. Like 12 to 16 million baseline, right? I don't have the full list up in front of me, so I don't know which one's which. But yeah, I think it's still worth it. And, you know, nothing else, you get your name on the planet. So that's fine. Space stations. Yeah, this is the same thing for space stations, but it'll also auto land you on planets. I don't do manually landing. That's too much work. I'm very lazy. But yeah, you can use auto dock at space stations or on planets. For planets, it'll kick into gear once you're 500 meters or below from the surface. So yeah, I didn't know that for the longest time, really until I had Odyssey. So I ignored a lot of planet landing stuff for a long time. But yeah, even if you're in a big old, like I have an exploration Corvette, and even that, I really don't have a problem landing unless it's just one of those really kind of weird planets with a ton of mountains. The auto dock is really, it can find it. Now, sometimes it does run into issues. Same thing with the space stations though. Like sometimes you can get kind of wild and bump into things in the space station using auto. I have had, you know, a couple of incidences where it would like bounce me off the planet surface or something like that if the gravity's really weird. But yeah, you can auto dock on a planet. Labellum. Here we go. Frutexa. It's the VTuber plan. We're all a little Frutexa, I guess. Used it once for the music. Yeah. You know, I've heard that there's some new music that they added in with Power Play 2.0. I haven't had music on in this game for a long time, which is another chance. You know, shout out to Karl Casey, White Bat Audio here on YouTube. Thanks again for making these wonderful copyright-free tracks. So if you are a streamer and you're wanting some decent like synthwave, give White Bat Audio a listen. They're really good. I use them for pretty much all of my Elite Dangerous streams. Dude, I don't know what the dude does. I'm guessing this is all like his job, because like every other day he's got like a new hour-long video of a bunch of new tracks. Yeah, I use White Bat Audio for all of this stuff. But I have heard the new Power Play music is really good. I guess some of the Stronghold carrier battles have some new music that's really good. So I might turn that back on at some point and give that a shot. All right. Come on. And yeah, the Mandalay, you know, it does look kind of weird on the bottom. It's kind of weird, kind of bulky on the bottom. But then you get down here and you're like, wow, this thing has so much clearance. It's so much clearance. It's so easy to get your SRV in here compared to a lot of the other ships. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like I can handle the weird kind of bird look of the bottom. If it means that I don't have to like constantly adjust my SRV to get in. All right, up we go. Let's do this. And then hopefully once we get away from the planet's surface, I will be able to start moving again. You know, I'd rather me freeze up in VTube Studio than the game freeze up. So, you know, this is just something we'll have to deal with this stream. I never flew anything bigger than FD or LFAS after 1200. Yeah. And I think if you like those, you're really gonna like this, especially because it is another Zorgon Peterson too. Like, I'm not the biggest Zorgon fan, but you know, after this, I might be a disciple. Maybe next time I go back to the bubble, I'll actually buy a Mamba and just have some fun with it. Like, I've got an FDL, but after I got my Corvette, there was really no reason for it. Like, the Corvette handles all of my conflict zone stuff. I've got a T10 for AFK farming and, you know, res sites. Python Mark II if I want to feel a little more active in combat. So there's really hasn't been much of a point. Now, to be fair, the FDL was like one of the first ships that I bought. You know, after I had the money to actually do ships. So it's probably like not very engineered or anything like that. Probably not very efficient. I should probably give it another look at some point and see if I can do some adjustments to it. But you know, the Mamba is still really popular. Apparently the Mamba is a pretty decent Titan bomber ship once you've got it engineered to stay cool. So, you know, there's that too. It has its uses. You know, I am a little sad that we did not get the medium Gudamaya ship that I think a lot of people really wanted. I'm not a fan of the Cobras. I'm not really a fan of any of the crates or anything like that either. They're just weird frisbees. I don't like the design of them at all. But you know, I guess I can kind of see where they're coming from. Even if they're not my favorite, like the Cobra is kind of like the flagship of the game. It's kind of the one that's used in a lot of their promo art and stuff. So, you know, I guess for their 10th anniversary, yeah, the Mark V makes sense. Okay. Let me pop this up here. Orbital period 6.1. Not really worth it. I haven't found anything with just like a really crazy orbital period. I haven't found any of those ones that are like less than an hour or anything like that. I don't even know if those can still spawn. I guess a lot of those kind of wacky systems were the result of some bugs when Stellar Forge was made, and they just never adjusted them in the game. I don't know if they can still spawn, though. Like, that's kind of the weird part, yeah. So, you know, I'd like to find something like that. I'd like to find a Jolly Green Giant somewhere. That might be kind of nice. I haven't found any of those yet. All right, anything else? Anything else good? Anything else? Biological 4? Okay. All right, now we're talking a little bit. How about you? Just one biological. Interesting. And the neon atmosphere. Huh. All right, well, let's do this one. Let's just go scan it. I don't know if we'll find anything good there. But, like, these... Wait a second. These are all... Yeah, these are all black hole systems. Huh, it's not like it's got a secondary star somewhere. Interesting. I mean, I guess these are technically secondary stars. They're they're brown dwarfs. So they give off a little bit of heat. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, like the FTL, as far as I know, is still kind of the go-to for PvP. That and the Python Mark II, like they're both still very good. The Mamba has always just kind of been kind of there as like a racer, I guess, from what I understand. But it is a very good Titan bomber. Because yeah, the Titans require like a specific loadout to kind of keep you cool, and you need like a specific torpedo pylon that you can buy at the rescued megaships. And yeah, the way the Titans work, the Mamba is apparently just really, really good. Like all Titans have, what is it, like 7 vents or something like that, 7 or 8 vents that you have to pop with the pylon, and then it overheats and you gotta flip around and attack the core or whatever. And yeah, the Mamba is really good about being able to get around, hit all of those vents, and still make it to the core. So it's very common if you got like you're running in a wing to have a Mamba that handles popping the vents, and then all of your actual attackers will get in there and actually attack the core. Like my Python Mark II, I can only get about 4 vents. I could probably speed it up boosting a little more, but then I'd probably overheat with my loadout. So yeah, the Mamba's really good about being able to get around and get all of them. But yeah, outside of that, I haven't really seen too much of a use for it. It's very different than this one. The Mandalay is kind of wild because, like, technically it's an explorer, but I've seen it used in really just about everything. I've seen people using it for combat. I've seen people using it for Thargoids. It's probably not the best or most efficient at most of those, but you can definitely get it done. I mean, I was using mine as a hauler for some of the rare goods, trading and stuff. Oh, wow, that's kind of weird. That's like, they're there. Huh. Interesting. But yeah, with the rare goods having a limited supply, it's not like I needed to use my cutter every time. So yeah, if I was just doing something that needed a light load, yeah, I put in a couple cargo racks in this thing. It's got a bigger jump range than the cutter, and it's definitely a lot faster. Eventually I did switch back. Lava spouts, osseous, fungoidea, and fumarolas, huh? So we do have fumarolas. Interesting. Well, we're going to land and check them out, because I like checking that kind of stuff. Man, those two are like really close. That's really interesting. Now this is going to be kind of tricky, because this is going to be dark, dark. Hey, there's no light in this system, like, at all. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I'll be honest, it's kind of broken. Yeah, the Mandalay it's just such a good all-around ship. If you are wanting to specialize in something, yeah, there's probably other ships that are still a little bit better. But like, if you want like a really good all-arounder, like, man, this Mandalay is just, it's just so good at so many different things. I might buy another one when we get back. When I get back to the bubble, we'll see. Who knows when that'll be? Since I'm not buying the Cobra. Now I do still want a Type 8. Apparently the Type 8, if you are wanting to do the Power Play 2.0 stuff and do the rare goods hauling, the Type 8 has a loadout that you can use that is really good at it. But that's not going to be available until the end of the month. Little sad. I thought it would be out by now, but they're extending the credit purchase for another month. So we got to wait, wait a little bit longer on it. But that's fine. We've got some FF14 that we'll be playing in the meantime. We'll probably be spending a fair amount of time in 7.1. So, that'll give us that 2 weeks or whatever until the 28th rolls around and I can finally buy a Type 8. I'm not the biggest fan of the design of the Type 8, but I know like a lot of the old school 80s sci-fi fans really like it because it is very reminiscent of like the designs you would see in like Alien and stuff, right? So, I haven't ever actually turned on the external lights on this thing. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I won't know until we get down here. Come on. That's right. You know what they say about true pilots? You can fly just using your altimeter, right? So that's what we're going to do. And down. Here we go. Lower these. Yeah, I'm real curious what this is going to look like down here. I don't even know if I'll be able to find everything. Here we go. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. You see videos of it pop up on Reddit every now and then. But yeah, I know which system you're talking about. Yeah, I got the really fast orbit. And apparently you can just like, hang out there in space and let it come to you. It's like a really big thing. And then, you've got the opposite end of that. You've got the planet of death, the one that's like passes in and out of the white dwarf exclusion zone. That one's quite a bit farther out. It's not near the bubble. But that's another one that you got to kind of like sit there and we'll let it come to you. And then once you're on the planet, you're fine, apparently. So, you got like a 5-minute window or something like that to land on it. Kind of wild. I probably should have went to check that out last time I went out in that direction, because I think if I remember right, it is up towards like Colonia. But yeah, I ended up missing it. I did check out the Collection of Wonders, but not quite the same. Yeah, the one that's got like a minute orbit, that's different than the Planet of Death. I know which one you're talking about. It's just kind of a fun ride on that one. But yeah, the Planet of Death, it's another one that's just kind of like, yeah, you just kind of got to let it sit and come to you. Hey, there we go. There's some fumaroles. Now, how long it's going to take me to try and find a bunch of these, I don't know, because I can't see shit. So, here we go. This is only like the second time I've ever actually had a chance to find some of these. They're honestly, they're kind of rare. They don't really pay out the best. Like, it's not like I'm going to get a whole lot of money from them, but I'd like to try and find as many different kinds of plants and biologicals as I can, right? Why would I not? Fumarola extremis. I think there's only 1 or 2 types of Fumarola, too. Come on, there we go. Okay, so they're only 100 meters. But am I going to be able to find fumaroles that easily? I'm just going to look for the... Ooh. I guess we'll just look for the little dots of lava out and about. Usually if there's a lava spout somewhere, there's going to be a fumarole near it too. See, look at that. Man, is it even worth it trying to get out and try and get a screenshot? I mean, that's really what this is all about for me. Like, for me, it's all about the screenshots and trying to find just the really wild systems, right? So yeah, if I can get some good screenshots, I'm gonna do it. You give me a camera and I'm all for it. And honestly, like, the game does have a pretty good... Let's try turning off the lights. Sometimes the light adjusts. Nah, not so much here. Yeah, being a black hole system is going to be a little rough. Alright, now these things give a fair amount of materials, if I remember right. It's all basics, though. I mean, I'm not going to say no to it. I'll find some use for it eventually. Come on. There we go. Carbon. There we go. Anything else? Iron? Get over here. Come on. Now, where was that other fumarole? Is that... I don't know if that's going to be 100 meters away from the last one. Yeah, there's like no light here. I thought maybe there'd be a little bit of light. Since I am kind of near... like one of these dwarfs. But yeah, there's nothing. There's no light here. It's dark. Kind of cool, though. I like it. That's why I'm out here. Seen that hangar from the outside? Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of wild sometimes what you can see when things bug. Like, they clearly have, like, basics of interiors done. Just, like, not enough to be able to walk around the inside of the whole ship, right? Alright, come on. There's got to be more fumaroles around here somewhere. Give me something. Need 100 meters out. Come on. Rogue planets, yeah. It'd be cool if rogue planets were in this game. But yeah, just technically wise, I can see why they aren't. Same thing with like comets and that kind of thing. Because all of these systems are instanced, and there's really no way for them to like adjust and time out, like mathematically, like how those planets would travel from system to system, especially if the system technically does not exist in the game until someone has discovered it, right? So it's kind of weird like that. Yeah, it's one of the downsides. Now, you know, some of the more scientifically minded in the community, that is not me. I'm very dumb. I took one astronomy class, and that's really about the most that I've done, right? But yeah, they have said that, like, if you know what you're looking for, you can find planets that were probably rogue planets at some point. And you can kind of tell from the system chart, like, where they would be. And then, of course, you also have, like, the stellar remnants and stuff. But yeah, unfortunately, you know, we don't have the rogue planets and stuff in this game, or comets or anything like that. It'd be very cool if they could. But yeah, just no way for them to actually put it into the game. Yeah, unfortunately you cannot. Some ships might heat up a ton, and you might die that way. But yeah, I've got a clip on the channel of me trying to yeet myself into the middle of Sag A, and unfortunately could not do it. Even the heat wasn't enough to kill the Anaconda. I'm still salty about that. It made it all the way to the center of the galaxy, and it can't even kill me. Hey, come on, man. I believed in you. Come on. Come on. There's got to be one around here somewhere. Where are these things? We were doing so well. We were doing so well. I know I could probably turn on night vision, but I'm going to do it the hard way. Not like we got anything else going on. I'm sitting out these jump timers. Which, speaking of, that should be done soon. We don't have the notification yet, but should be hitting it up here in a bit. All right, well, let's give it a shot. Let's turn on night vision. There we go, and see if maybe I can't find it a little bit easier. These look like fumaroles. Now we're talking. Whee! Now, whether or not I've already scanned them, I have no idea. I have no idea where I am right now. Alright, disembark. Come on. Come on, there we go. Hey, look at that. Alright, and now we have scanned Mulberry. That's a unique color. Alright, well, hey, it's something new. It's an additional little bit for the old Exobio. Alright, let's get off to this planet and get back to our normal frame rate, shall we? Whee! But yeah, I'm excited for the colonization stuff, though. You know, if they can't do, like, comets and rogue planets and that kind of thing, you know, having some stations dotted out here and there, it's going to be really, really nice. But I'm also, like, a big road trip guy. It's always kind of interesting to see people's opinions on it. and you know, having stations all over. Like, I have seen a few people, like some pretty hardcore explorers, that want the black to just be the black. They don't want any civilized points out and about. But for me personally, like, come on, maybe a little bit more, Like, I'm a big road trip guy, and I guess, you know, that's not really a thing in over in England where this is made, right? So I think it's very much like a cultural thing. But like for me, getting out on the road, enjoying just like vast expanse of nothing, and then coming across like that one weird little town or that one little pit stop or something like that, like, it's very unique. It's a lot of fun to me, and I think that's what a lot of the colonization is going to feel like. And yeah, it'd be nice to be able to like spend some time out in the black, seeing just really nothing for a while, and then you come across, you know, that one weird little station just out in the middle of nowhere, right? that someone claimed for themselves. We'll have to see how it works. You know, if they're gonna do it where that where the range is only like in a fleet carrier jumps range, then like, yeah, most of the colonized systems are going to be daisy chained, and you're not really going to get huge expanses of nothing and then like a station out in the middle of nowhere. I like it. It's really going to depend on how far out they let you start building, right? All right, come on, you got this. Actually, where am I going next? I'm not going to worry about the other planet. We know it's there now. Do we want to check out another black hole? It's not a heavy system. Let's see. I do like the fact that I am seeing a lot of black holes now. That's how I know that we're finally getting in it. Like, this is where I thrive, right? The black hole systems. All right, we've got a ways to go. Looking for any AAAs. I doubt we're going to find too many that have been undiscovered, but, you know, it's always nice to look. Or I can just go ahead and start making my way up there. Where, am I going the right direction? Yes. Okay, so it did already make the jump. Interesting. I didn't think it had. All right, I mean, look at that. Look at how much space that covers in 5 jumps. 5 jumps. It's ridiculous. I love it. I mean, to be fair, my Anaconda was doing a fair amount of that too. Okay. Now the other question is, do I want to go even further below the plane? Or do I want to kind of stay steady at about 1300 here? We've got options. EBX, yeah, all of the black holes are like EBX systems. I'm just not really seeing any AAAs. That's fine. It's okay. We'll live. I'm just kind of doing some light exploration now. Like I said, just kind of while the fleet carrier's making its jumps and the jump timer's super long, I'm not going to be doing a ton of like super heavy exploration and really spending some time looking for systems until I actually get to my destination. I'm about halfway there right now, I think. What are the ranges? Well, a neutron is always 4 times your jump range. And I think the white dwarfs are 1.5 times or something like that. It's really not worth it to do it on white dwarves. You can, if you really want to get spicy. But yeah, neutron stars, they're always 4 times whatever your jump range is. So in my case, it would be whatever that is, 24.4, something like that. I don't really do a lot of the neutron jumping. Like, if you're doing a race to try and get to Beagle Point or something like that, yeah, I could see why neutron jumping is really important. I like actually taking my time and exploring a little bit, so I don't spend a whole lot of time doing it. I've done it a couple of times just to see what happens. There we go. All right, always scan just in case it's a jolly green. You never know. Yeah, look at this. I can go ahead and start the drive while scooping, and I will be fine. Well, maybe not. I'm a little closer to the corona than I would like to be, but yeah. But normally it doesn't heat up that much. I very rarely top 80 on this thing. Yeah, everything on the planet itself, yeah, I usually... It depends on what's there. To be fair, a lot of the reason I'm kind of breezing through some of the planets is the frame rate thing. I don't know what they did since PowerPlay 2.0, but the frame rate just really tanks when I've got VTube Studio open. Normally on my own, if I'm just playing off stream, I'll spend a little bit more time down there. But, you know, also at the same time, like, a lot of the planets, there's not a huge amount of difference between them. Sometimes if I can find one that's got some really nice screenshot-worthy atmosphere or something like that, I'll spend a little bit more time. I really like the planets that are a lot of sand, like full sandy. Yeah, if it's just like a barren rock, then as I get down there, scan my plants and go. Alright, I'm guessing that's my fleet carrier jump message. Wee, but yeah, look at how little fuel that uses too on an 80 light year jump. And the thing is, like, the tank isn't all that big either. So, like, when you do actually want a fuel scoop, it doesn't take very long, like, at all. Like, yeah, you could do a DBX and get a jump range that's honestly pretty close to this. But then you're stuck with that, what, like 4A fuel scoop or whatever? And it just takes forever. Like, this thing, it scoops in no time. Like, this thing's got, I think, a 6A fuel scoop in it. It's honestly kind of ridiculous. All right, let me make sure that I am headed to the right one. Last time I did this, I ended up going backwards. Yeah, we're going the right way. It's fine. Don't worry about it. All right, are we getting some places that have already been discovered, maybe? Huh. Those planets popped up awfully fast. I'm very concerned. I don't want to go places that people have found. We'll see. Let's scan a couple here, see what we got. All right. So far, so good. Come on. Come on. All right. Let's try this again. There we go. Look at that. Look at that orbital plane. Isn't it beautiful? There we go. Boo boo boo. There we go. Now there are a couple of tools. I haven't used them. Like, I know a lot of people use EDMC. I use EDD. I've never installed EDMC, but I guess there are a couple of plugins that can help you kind of determine what plants are on a planet before you even check it out. So, like, if you are someone that is just going for stratum, like, you can use that and just kind of ignore all the bacterium and tussocs and stuff, right? I do like landing even for the small stuff, because why not? But there are ways to do it. You know, I might consider it while I'm on the journey there. Probably not as much once I actually get to my destination. But yeah, you do have options if you want to just focus on a couple of different things. If you're just after the money or whatever, right? And see your anywhere specs. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this has been an issue since PowerPlay 2.0 came out. Beforehand, like, I was able to, you know, stream this just like normal on Ultra, and it really wasn't too much of a problem. But yeah, it's something to do. I don't know if they've increased the textures or what. It's really, really bad, obviously, on the planets. Which planets have always been kind of weird since Odyssey came out. But also space stations. You know, the past couple of streams, anytime I would go down to a space station, you can really tell it, like, just really dragging. But it's only when VTube Studio's open. I don't know what the deal is. It's only when I'm, like, streaming. Whenever I'm just playing on my own, like, everything's fine. I mean, I've got a 3070 in this thing, and it could probably stand a processor upgrade, but, you know, I've got a pretty nice computer. So yeah, I don't know what the exact cause of it is. They have done a little bit of stuff in the back end to make things look a little nicer. One of the big things with the PowerPlay 2.0 update was they've adjusted the bloom effects. So I don't know if you've noticed or not, but the Galactic Skybox, it looks a little bit different. It's got a little bit more of a bloom to it. You can really tell around like the pulsars and stuff. They are really bright now. But aside from that, I can't really think of any specific cause. It's just something with the textures. But it's fine. We'll deal. I can make adjustments if needed. That way we can stream it. No worry. I'm not gonna stop streaming this just because a few frame rate issues. I can make adjustments. It's cool. I use Spout 2. I have Spout 2 capture. Now it could be sometimes I do use. I've got a Logitech webcam that I'm using for it. So sometimes I do have my Logitech software open. That could be it. There's a lot of things. I just got to get in and explore with it, try and figure some stuff out, play around. It's not the first time I've dealt with tech issues doing a lot of this stuff. So yeah, it is what it is, I guess. About the Dex OLED, no, yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell here because we're getting pretty close to the Galactic Center. But when you get out there, like out there, you know, around the bubble or even farther out, yeah, you can definitely tell the skybox looks a little different. It's not like a huge change. It's not like they've completely overhauled the graphics, but yeah, they've adjusted a few things with the shaders that do make it look a little bit nicer. And I appreciate that. All right. Now, is this the system I gotta be in? Because I can't remember. Did I fly to a white dwarf? Probably. I did. There we go. All right, where are you? Where are you, Yosemite? Target obscured. Good to know. All right, so we're gonna have one of those. It's gonna be one of those landings. All right. Hold on to your butts. Clench those cheeks. Oh. Okay, it's not nearly as close as I thought it was. Yeah, look at that. Isn't this cockpit beautiful? I mean, look at this view. I thought it was a lot closer to the white dwarf than it was. Okay. That's fine. That's fair. Been to the other side. I've been to the other side of Sag A a few times. Like, this is probably the third time I've been to the other side of Sag A, but I've not been over to Beagle Point yet. I'm debating whether or not I want to do it this trip. We'll have to see where I'm at. I'll have to see what my fuel's looking like now that I've got some more fuel than the last couple of times that I've been out here. But, you know, I've been out to Colonia. I've been up to Sag A. That kind of thing. I'm kind of going the other side from Beagle Point this time. So I don't know how far away it's going to be. It'll still probably be a good 20,000 light years out from Beagle, but you know, now that the Mandalay's here, it's really nothing. All right. Now I promised once we get down here I would show you my loadout. And like I was saying, this is a good template Mandalay. It's perfect for me. Like, I've got this thing fine-tuned exactly how I want it. But if you do want to buy the Mandalay yourself, you know, you can adjust based on, you know, what you want to do with it. Undersize a few things more than I did. Add stuff like, you know, repair limpets, so on and so forth, right? But yeah, look at how much the frame rate tanks now that I'm like close to my I'm close to my carrier, right? All right, so let's get in here and take a look at the outfitting. Yep, come on. You got this, buddy. I believe in you. Believe in you, PC. PC-kun, please. All right, so like I said, I do not have a heatsink. With the way I've got this thing tuned, I haven't really needed it. The thing runs really cool, but I do have some of those pre-engineered heat sinks from the CG a couple weeks ago on here if I decide to pop one on. The important stuff, lightweight alloy as standard, doesn't add any weight, doing heavy duty, might as well. Power plant, this is the thing you can probably decide if you want to undercharge or not, or undersize. Some people do the 2A. I was debating a 3D, but yeah, I've got an overcharged 5-star with stripped down. Does everything I need. 4D thrusters, again, another thing you might be able to undersize a little bit more than I did. Some of my squad mates really like being really zippy, so they really like dirty drive and put a few more points into it than I did. I just got enough to get stripped down on it. All right, frame shift drive, standard stuff there, nothing really you shouldn't know. Life support with lightweight for the power distributor. A 3D power distributor with high charge capacity and stripped down. Nice thing with this is that I can still boost with this thing. So yeah, I don't have to worry about not having enough charge for boost. Sensors 5D lightweight, standard fuel tank, of course. Optional internal, I use the 3D shield generator. You might be able to undersize that a little bit more if you want to. Considering one bump took out my entire shields, I decided to go ahead and do it. 3D's fine. Let's see here. The Guardian drive, of course. AFMU, of course. Since that doesn't add any weight, I don't really use my AFMU. I've used an AFMU maybe 2 or 3 times in my entire exploration. But it doesn't add any weight, so there's no reason not to. Planetary vehicle hanger with a scarab, of course. Detailed surface scanner. I've got that pointed up to 5. And then, like I said, you know, adjust the taste with your automated systems. I do use the advanced docking computer, as you guys can see. I'm very lazy. But yeah, you can put in, you know, repair limpet controller and a cargo rack so you can have the limpets, that kind of thing. Adjust the taste. You know, that'll take you down to probably like 75 light years if you do that. But you can adjust as needed. But like I said, this is a really good template. Does everything that I need it to do. I do some things that other people might not. So if you don't have Odyssey or you don't do anything, you won't need the planetary vehicle hanger, right? And so on. I don't really care how it flies. It already flies really good. So I only need 1 pip in dirty drive. But if you want something a little more generalized, you might put more into it. So on and so forth. But yeah, that is my Mandalay, the CGV Jane Goodall. But there you go. But that being said, I think that'll do it for me today. You know, thanks a ton for coming and hanging out with me. You know, we are getting close to that 1,500. So, you know, same as usual, like, subscribe, help me get up there, and help me get out of Missouri. please, for the love of God. But outside of that, yeah, we've got some stuff coming throughout this weekend. We'll probably do a little bit more of this. We'll probably do, obviously, some more FF9 once my voice is a little bit more ready to do some voices and that kind of thing. And then, yeah, on the 11th, we will have the FF14 patch 7.1, and we'll be enjoying that for a couple of days and having some fun with it. You know, new Alliance raid and some new content. But that aside, I hope everyone has a good weekend. Be safe, be strong. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.